Here is your latest African news. Africa-wide, African Union endorses EAC force deployment to Democratic Republic of Congo. The African Union has endorsed the decision by the East African community leaders to deploy a regional force to restore peace and stability in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. In a statement, AU Commission Chairperson Moussa Faki Mohamed commended the leaders for their common efforts in finding a sustainable solution to the situation of the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo and the Great Lakes region as a whole. Last week in a meeting in Nairobi, EAC leaders urged rebel groups in Democratic Republic of Congo to lay down their arms, and they invited them for talks in Kenya. The leaders agreed that should the armed groups not heed to the call for dialogue, they will deploy a regional force against to maintain peace and stability in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. The meeting between Democratic Republic of Congo president and the armed groups initially failed to take off due to logistical challenges, according to officials, but a few armed groups were able to meet last week for talks. Worldwide, Elon Musk strikes deal to buy Twitter for $44 billion. The board of Twitter has agreed to a $44 billion or £34.5 billion takeover from the billionaire Elon Musk. Mr. Musk, who made the shock bid less than 2 weeks ago, said Twitter had tremendous potential that he would unlock. He also called for a series of changes, from relaxing its content restrictions to eradicating fake accounts. The firm initially rebuffed Mr. Elon Musk's bid, but it will now ask shareholders to vote to approve the deal. Mr. Musk is the world's richest person according to Forbes magazine, with an estimated net worth of $273.6 billion, mostly due to his shareholding in electric vehicle maker Tesla, which he runs. He also leads the aerospace firm SpaceX. In a statement announcing the deal, Mr. Musk said that free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated, adding that he would make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features, making the algorithm open source to increase trust, defeating spam bots, and authenticating all humans. The move comes as Twitter faces growing pressure from politicians and regulators over the content that appears on its platform. It has drawn critics from left and right over its efforts to mediate misinformation on the platform. Southern Africa. Historic return of rhinos at Zinave National Park after 40 years. The government of Mozambique and South Africa have announced plans to reintroduce rhino species to the Zinave National Park in southern Mozambique, which became extinct 40 years ago. Maputo and Pretoria jointly approved the reintroduction of more than 40 rhinos to a special constructed high-security sanctuary within the 4,000 square kilometers or 1,540 square mile park. The rhinos will be translocated from South Africa over a period of 1 to 2 years. The project is being spearheaded by the South African non-governmental organization Peace Parks Foundation and Exaro Resources Company, which is a coal and mining firm. Since 2016, a rewilding program has reintroduced more than 2,300 animals representing 14 species, including buffaloes, elephants, and leopards, into the park. In 2002, Mozambique, South Africa, and Zimbabwe entered into a treaty to establish the Great Limpopo Transfrontier Conservation Area, spanning over 100,000 square kilometers or 3,860 square miles, and incorporating 5 national parks, including the iconic Kruger National Park. The Zinave Park, however, lies in the shadows of a dark past when it was ravaged during the Mozambique Civil War that ended in 1992 and subsequent poaching. Angola. Angola's historic first oil platform to be launched in June. President of Angola, João Lourenço, has disclosed that the Southern African nation will launch her historic first oil platform in June. President Lourenço made the disclosure during a 3-day visit to Cabinda province, during which the project was presented to him. The Sea Swift offshore platform named Lifua A is under construction at the Malong camp in Cabinda province and should be launched into the sea in a few weeks. Sea Swift is a minimum facility offshore platform for rapid returns in shallow waters, using well conductors as a structural support for the topside. Sea Swift minimizes build and implementation times. The platforms offer a low-risk, low-cost route to reduced time to first oil and lower capital investment. Supported by Cabinda Gulf Oil Company Limited, the project required a budget of $60 million. The project, which is part of the upturn in the Angolan oil sector, is intended to create 400 direct jobs and will have its entry into production in late 2023. Uganda. Uganda beats 13 teams to win the 2022 African Rugby Sevens. The Ugandan rugby team has defeated 13 countries in grand style to win the 2022 Africa Rugby Sevens. In a game that concluded 22-12, Kenya was ousted by Uganda, who played on a saturated turf at home. The Rugby Cranes remained composed and improved game by game, defeating Zimbabwe 26-0 to win the championships. Uganda, like Zimbabwe and Kenya, has a difficult season ahead of them in terms of tournament preparation. They have only a few months to be in condition to compete with Fiji, the United Kingdom, Samoa, and New Zealand. 14 teams took part in the tournament, including rising stars Burundi, Senegal, and Burkina Faso, drawing a promising scene and more representation of the continent at the International Rugby Board circuit. The Uganda national sevens team's biggest accomplishments has been to win a berth at the 2016 Dubai Sevens. The 2022 Africa Men's Sevens are an annual Africa Rugby Sevens tournament that took place at the Kyadondo Rugby Club in Kampala between 23rd and 24th April 2022. They were held in Uganda for the second time. Democratic Republic of Congo. Papa Wemba's house transformed into Rumba Museum. The Kinshasa residence of Congolese star singer Papa Wemba was transformed into a museum of Congolese Rumba on April 24th, open to the public in the Democratic Republic of Congo, 6 years after the artist's death on stage. After Papa Wemba's death in Abidjan in 2016, the Congolese government decided to buy his main residence, a luxurious villa located in the heights of the posh Makampane neighborhood in the western part of Kinshasa. At the entrance, an image of the Congolese star's arms raised is engraved on the gates. In the living room of this sumptuous villa, 7 hats of this Congolese music icon are on display. The attention is immediately drawn to the golden sculpture of an angel that sits next to a black and white portrait of the king of Rumba. Present at the ceremony, the leader of the Ivorian group Magic System hoped that all artistic categories would be represented in the museum because Papa Wemba was a complete artist. The Congolese idol died on stage on 24th April 2016 while participating in the 9th edition of the Anomabu Urban Music Festival, organized by Magic System. Father of 6 children, dressing in the finest fashion houses, Papa Wemba had been one of the most popular African singers for over 40 years. With his high voice and flamboyant personality, he was one of the great figures of Congolese Rumba. Great news! Tunacheki, Kunda Kids and Nala have partnered together to bring you Maua and the Gardens of Plenty, our first African's children's book for free. Nala is a money transfer app that uses the latest technology and works with local communities to make payments as hassle-free as possible. The easy-to-use app allows anyone to quickly send money from the UK to Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Ghana, with many other African countries and currencies coming soon at the lowest rates available. To get a free copy of Maua and the Gardens of Plenty for yourself, family, or friends, download the Nala app, use the code KundaKids and make a transfer of as little as £1. For those in the US, you can download the app and RSVP for your free book coming next month. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, follow, share and like our video. It's the best way of supporting us. And remember, Africa is watching.